Okay.
Live. This is Karen Roberts. I'm the host of the podcast Profits Unleashed podcast. And today we're here live with Aldreama Harper on the OrganizedPreneur show. So today we're switching things around. Normally she's the interviewer, but today I will be interviewing Aldreama. And we've got some incredible things to share. And we have a promise and a commitment to you that Aldreama will be sharing a huge surprise at the end of this time together. But we're going to get to that shortly. So Aldreama is a business organizing strategist. She's a coach and host of the OrganizedPreneur podcast, drawing on her extensive experience in administration and organization. I need a little bit of that. Aldreama has over 20 years of experience helping others to work smarter, not harder, by decluttering spaces, optimizing their workflows, reducing unnecessary complexity, and creating a clear roadmap for success. She also co-facilitates a virtual networking event and a community for female entrepreneurs. But she had an epiphany and she decided to make a slight pivot in her business model. So now, with a new focus, she is on a mission to help aspiring entrepreneurs start new businesses or relaunch existing businesses with a solid infrastructure that creates more time, more freedom, and more profit. So, Aldreama, what inspired you to make this pivot in your business?
Wow, Karen. First of all, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thank you for allowing us to switch things up a little bit. But yes, I am very, very excited. And I do, like you said, have a lot of things I want to share, a surprise that I want to share. But that is such a great question that really has kind of changed my perspective a little bit. So I've been in the organizing business for like over 20 plus years, right? I love organizing. I love working with people in a variety of industries. I've worked with pastors, I've worked with attorneys, I've worked with realtors, doctors, just a plethora of different areas of careers. And so, but organizing has always been an integral part of what I do and how I serve, always in some capacity, right? So whether that's productivity, whether it's time management, coaching, online business management, virtual assistant, in some capacity, I've been helping others to save time so that they can focus on what they do best, right? So this year, after about 6 months of hosting a 5-day decluttering challenge, I was doing 5-day challenges like once a month. So I had an epiphany, and it really hit home for me because during that 5-day challenge, people who were going through the challenge began launching a business after going through the challenge. And this really spoke volumes to me because, first of all, it's always something that I have desired to do. I just didn't know that it would happen during or as a result of someone going through the training. And so what I had realized was that I had actually created a framework. I didn't even know that I had created this framework, helping them to get clarity and focus, but also helping them to have a solid foundation that helped them to be able to think more clearly so that they can launch their businesses, so that their ideas can flow through, right? There were about 5 ladies that actually went through the decluttering challenge and then began launching their businesses. And I was like, okay, I think I'm on to something here. Like after like 20 years of helping, other people, I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. And so I was so inspired by their achievements. In fact, I was so inspired by one in particular. After she went through the decluttering challenge, she launched her business this year. And she's been in business maybe not even a year. And she's already on track for six figures. And she became a client after going through my my decluttering. I'm thinking, because when she came to the decluttering challenge, she said, well, I have a few things that I wanted to get organized, but I did not come to start a business. And so that's what she did. And so I was like, okay, we're on to something. There was another lady that actually launched her writing service. And so the other one actually decided to become a client of mine. And so we've been, meeting twice a month actually. And so I'm walking her through the process, one-on-one. I'm actually mentoring her, one-on-one. And so, like I said, I've always wanted to help others to launch businesses. And so that was so inspiring to me. I was like, okay, I think I finally hit the sweet spot, right? And so, and this is something that may be helpful, for the audience today, because I really do believe that success can be obtained through the intersection of productivity, passion, and purpose. And so I say that because the three things that I love: business, organizing, and podcasting. And so it's like at that intersection, I think I realized that, okay, I have really found my purpose, and it feels just amazing, right? And so I thought, okay, let's go with this. Let's solidify this whole framework so that I can now offer that to people in a way that makes sense. And so I'm working with a couple of people right now to help them, through that, because I think that sometimes it's difficult to arrive there at a destination. I think it's difficult to arrive there if you're not able to sift through all the clutter and the distractions and and what's competing for your attention. But again, I didn't realize that it was going to help them to create a business. And so, like I said, it became more apparent to me that now that I can now I can now operate in my genius zone. And what I call those three, like the business, I call it my BOP, my BOP, my BOP: business, organizing, and podcasting. That's my genius zone, right? And so, those are the things that, happen. And these are the things that align with me, so much. And this is how I can show up to serve others. And so, Karen, I know that you would agree with me when I say, when you are in alignment, when things are in alignment with how you want to show up and who you want to serve, it aligns with your core values. There's something inside of you that just ignites. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like there's a fire or something that just comes alive inside of you. And so that's how I feel, about this whole thing. Like it's just something that has been ignited. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Love that. So with people, what are some of the common pitfalls that you've seen that people make when they're starting a business?
Well, I can say this from experience. So there's a couple of things that really come to mind. One is not having a solid foundation or the infrastructure for sustainability. right? It's like building a house. When you build a house, there are things that's necessary to the construction of it. You need blueprints, you need to get inspections, there's plumbing, there's electrical components, you need water, you need concrete, for the foundation, you need walls, and flooring, roofing. You need all of these things to actually construct a home, something that gives you a solid foundation. And so I discovered that a lot of people were launching their businesses and they would just be all over the place, right? Because they were entering a space like, the clients, a couple of the clients that went through the decluttering challenge, they were entering a space that was unfamiliar territory, because in this online space, this online world, it's sometimes a little harder to navigate. When you've worked in, for maybe you work for a corporation or you work 9 to 5, and, there's people that's telling you, what to do and things like that. And so you kind of have, everything at your fingertips, right? Just structure, But when you enter into this online space, it's a little bit more challenging. The language is different, you know, the opportunity to be distracted, like I said, is even more so in the online space, So I think that that's one of the things that I have seen, is that people, they enter into the space and they just start winging it. And you really can't do that when you are trying to start a business. You need some structure. You need some infrastructure and foundation to help you navigate the terrain, because it's a little bit different. It was different for me when I started my business, 20 years ago. Some of the things that I do now, that's a little bit different than the way I did it before in my organizing business. For example, I would go to my clients' homes to help them get organized, or their offices, or whatever. But now I don't do that anymore. They join me virtually and I walk them through the process. So it's a little bit more challenging, in the online space. So you have to kind of get used to that. So I think that the other thing that I was seeing was that, people were not, um, they were not, they were afraid of things falling through the cracks. They would be winging it. They would be all over the place, right? And so I have found that sometimes, it comes from working in an environment that you haven't been exposed to. So I think you just have to be aware of some of those things, because sometimes it's a little challenging. It can be a little challenging, and that's what I found with working with some of the clients that I've worked with.
Yeah, I can relate to that. People winging it in the beginning. So, what is your process? What is the process, and how do you get results for your clients?
So another great question, Karen. So the process is really based on a 4-step framework that I designed to help people launch businesses successfully and provide a solid foundation. And this is especially helpful if you're new to entrepreneurship, even more so if you have a limited knowledge of the online space, or maybe you're someone that's been working 9 to 5 and you don't quite understand how to create a service-based business, whether it's, a VA service or you're an executive assistant. And so what I've discovered, Karen, is that being new to entrepreneurship or new to the online space can be quite challenging. So it's because it's filled with shiny objects and distractions that's competing for your time, your focus, and your energy. So for solopreneurs, like those who just like a one person entity, it's important to build a solid foundation, because I really believe that the biggest difference between struggling entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs is organization, right? And so what I did was I created the framework that allows you to have the infrastructure that you need for sustainability. It shortens the amount of time that, like, in other words, you're not going to spend 20 years trying to get through this process, right? And it helps you to avoid the pitfalls, and you have a better chance of success. So that's why I created this. I believe it's a very comprehensive way, but very simple way to equip you with the necessary tools and strategies and knowledges just to kind of kickstart your business with confidence and with clarity. We know that that is extremely important. So I said all that to say that it is a 4-step framework, right? And it involves 3 pillars of efficiency and then another layer that I'll describe here very shortly. So let's just start with the 3 pillars of efficiency. So step 1 is organizing your space. Now, you discover the power of decluttering and organizing your physical space, your digital space, and your mental space. That's where the clarity happens. That's where you can gain some momentum because you're eliminating the distractions. You're creating a harmonious environment. And so you are better able to unlock your full potential because you can be more focused, more productive, and you have more peace of mind. So that's step 1, is organizing your space. Step 2 is optimizing your resources, your time, your talent, all of the resources that help you to effectively steward your time, steward your resources, steward your talent. And so what we'll do in that process is help you with practical tips and techniques to help you make the most of every moment so that you can avoid the overwhelm, so that you're better able to seize the opportunities, right? And so optimizing all of those resources, so when I think about it, for example, Michael Jordan, everybody, knows Michael Jordan, who played basketball, for example. He worked extremely hard to hone in on his talent, his skills, but he also gained knowledge of the game, right? And so he mastered that. And so that is what I mean by optimizing your resources. All of the things that you bring to the table, right? That's a part of that is even doing an inventory of the skill of your current skill sets, because we all have some that's transferable. So optimize your resources. Step 3 is all about systemizing your operations, right? This is where you unlock the secrets of efficient operations in your business, from developing an essential workflow, implementing automation, CRM systems, all of these things where you will learn in the program to streamline your processes. That is streamline your podcast, as well as streamlining your business operations, right? And this is super important for the solopreneur. Like I said, those one-person businesses that will be struggling unless they streamline some of their operations. So those are actually the 3 pillars of efficiency. Step 4 is all about monetizing, how to monetize your business. And this is where we guide you on how to attract leads, how to build your audience, how to effectively monetize your business, even if you are just starting out. This is so very essential. One of the things that I see people do is they try to monetize their businesses too early, right? Because they don't have the infrastructure to help. They want leads right now. They want clients right now. And yes, I get that. But you also like I said, earlier, if you're not careful, you're going to be all over the place, worrying about things falling through the cracks, and just simply struggling. The reason that I know that is because that's what happened to me. So, but in the monetizing your business, that step, we teach you how to generate leads, how to convert leads, how to leverage virtual events, 5-day challenges, right? Even podcasting, how to do that, right? Karen is absolutely wonderful, at doing, amazing at doing that. And so it won't take years to do this. You can learn these type of things right away. So lead generation and conversion, client ascension and retention, this is all essential to having a business. And this is a formula that works to help you build a sustainable business that honestly took me over 20 years, to get this right. I feel like I'm finally getting right. And so it's the thing that I really want to teach others to do, but not take 20 years to do that. So hopefully that makes sense. But that is the 4-step framework, Karen.
Everybody wants a shortcut. Everybody wants a shortcut. So what do you think holds people back from actually getting started?
Fear, lack of confidence. I feel like also people are what do you call that? Imposter syndrome. They're seeing people, on social media. And so they're afraid to step out. They're afraid that it won't work. Right. I'm a firm believer that everything works. You just got to work it. And so, a lot of time, all it takes is just that first step, that first leap of faith. When I started my organizing business, like I knew I was able to help people get organized. But during the time that I started it, I didn't even know it was a thing. I just knew I enjoyed doing it. Right. And so, and to be perfectly honest with you, I can't say that I had all the confidence that I need. I didn't have a mentor. I read a lot of books. I watched, a lot of different, videos in terms of how to hone in on my craft. But every time I actually had a client, I got more and more confident about, what I was doing. And so I can't say that it's going to be easy, but it's definitely worth it. But I do believe that holds a lot of people back because they want everything to be perfect. Right. So, and that doesn't work. That doesn't happen.
It's never going to be perfect. So what else? Anything else that you think holds people back from, stepping into their genius?
Yeah, I think sometimes, and I'm speaking from personal experience, patience. Being patient, and allowing things to work, right? And the reason I say I speak from experience on that, because sometimes I really do have a habit of, I know that that's an area that I constantly need to work on, because sometimes it's like, okay, I want to try something out, but then I want to see something work instantly, right? And it doesn't work that way, right? And so what happens is I have this bad habit of switching. Like, okay, well, that's not working, so I'm going to switch and try something else instead of sticking with it to see if it's going to work. And it all works. I heard one of my mentors say it this way. It all works. It's either working on you or it's working on the thing that you're working on. And so, but patience that's one of the things I'm still working through.
Cool. So, what should the listeners do next?
Well, Karen, so if any of this resonated with anyone, if that's listening, anyone in the audience that's listening or even watching, and you feel like this resonated with you, and you feel like, what Aldreama was saying really resonated with me. I would really like to go a little bit deeper into this process because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I need some help. Don't be like some people, trying to go through this entrepreneurial journey solo, because it honestly doesn't work. So if any of this resonated with you and you want to go a little bit deeper, well, let me say it this way. You want to go a little bit deeper than what I was able to share here on this interview. Because as you know, Karen, as we're going through this, it takes longer, to do and install some of the systems that we talk about. But I have found that when you take the time to learn and then implement, it works a whole lot better. So for those of you who are looking to have a little bit more of a deeper dive, then I want to invite you to a virtual intensive workshop that I'm going to be hosting. And so this is for those of you who's ready to make a change in terms of the trajectory. You want to change where you're going, and you want to follow a model that you can plug into, right? And this is also for those who maybe you're working 9 to 5 and you want to start your own side business because you know that you have the skill set, but you want to hone in on that skill set, but you're not exactly sure how to incorporate that into your business. This is for you as well. This is also for you if you've been dreaming of starting a business. I think about the fact that when I worked in corporate America years ago, I used to sit in my cubicle and dream about having my own business. I've had several types of businesses, but this is the one that stuck. And so, if any of this resonates with you, then I invite you to this virtual business intensive. And I'm very excited about it because this is where we're going to go deeper with the 4 steps, the framework that I just shared with you, to help you become more organized, to help you to have systems in your business, to help you to be more confident, to help you to have more clarity, to help you to build momentum, right? And have someone walk with you, lock arms with you, and let's do this, right? I believe that this is the right time to start a business as well. There's never been a better time to start a business, and there's never been stuff available to help you launch a successful business. And so I'm really excited about the fact that I'm able to host this event that's going to help entrepreneurs or even aspiring entrepreneurs to create something that builds a legacy, that creates a legacy for your children and your grandchildren, something that you can be proud of, right? And so in that virtual event, we're going to be mapping things out. We're going to lock arms, right? And we're going to help you take that leap of faith, help you move forward in the things that you've been dreaming about, you've been thinking about, and it won't go away. That's the thing, because I know for me, it just never ever went away. It was always there. When I was a little girl, they used to call me business lady, like BITNESS, business lady. Because I always had those dreams, but I just didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have a framework. So if any of this resonates with anyone that's listening or watching this, watching the replay or what have you, then I'm super excited about hosting this intensive. So yeah.
Fantastic. So where do they need to go to register for this event?
So yeah. So if you're watching this video on a page where there's a button. You'll want to click on the button because this video is going to go out on social media. And so there will be a link that you can click to be able to register. But if by chance, maybe you miss it or what have you, you can go to successbizacademy.com and grab your tickets. This is absolutely free, by the way, Karen. Normally there would be a fee starting at $9.97 because this is an intensive where you take a deeper dive. This is not just theory. This is not just, you consume the video and then you walk away and you're on your own. We're going through this together. And so it's absolutely free, but there's also a VIP upgrade that you can take advantage of, which I highly recommend if you want to jump on, a call with just you and I and be able to ask questions, or maybe if you're stuck or something like that, or maybe you're like me and you're an introvert and you don't want to ask a question in front of everybody. That's one of my issues. I'm an introvert. And so you will definitely want to grab a VIP upgrade. And so, and here's the thing. As you know, Karen, when you get in a room with the right people, right, with people who are at the same place, like-minded people, they're at, maybe some of them are a little bit more advanced or what have you, but you still want the same outcome. You want to launch a business, you want to have a side business or what have you. You can build relationships, right? There's nothing like building relationships with like-minded people. That's how I met you, Karen. And so, and so you definitely want to see the possibilities, right? See the opportunities that are there. And being in a room with other people helps you to see that, right? And so, so this is definitely an opportunity that you don't want to miss. You can definitely go to successbizacademy.com. There will be links somewhere around the video, wherever it's being shown, whether it's on the podcast or on social media. You want to grab this as soon as possible. And so this is what I'm very, very excited about. It's been a while. I've been doing 5-day challenges for a while. So this is going to be like a 1-day workshop. And so we're going to get it done. So, yeah.
Love that. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, that's absolutely awesome. And it's such a pleasure to do things the other way and interview you as opposed to you interviewing me.
Yes. I am so excited, Karen. And I'm always very honored to be on these platforms with you. So I really do thank you, for interviewing me, pulling out those deep questions, pulling out the information and being the perfect interviewer and host that you are. So I really thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you too. So, to the listeners, Aldreama will be back.
I will be. Thank you all for listening. And yes, thank you all for listening. And we will be back. I hope you take advantage of this opportunity. And I hope to see you in the virtual business intensive. So